Captain's Log, Stardate 5. So recently I've been getting into the battle reports for Warhammer 40k on Striking Scorpion 82. And it's inspired me to go and dig out all my old Warhammer from back in the day and managed to get my Eldar army and my brother Georgie's Orc army. So I've managed to get together the Eldar army now and completely repaint it and rejig it and fill in some of the gaps and make the army ready for combat. So we can go and have a look at that now. So this is the complete army. It's 2,000 points and it's finished off now, with the exception of the basing on many of the models, which you'll be able to see. So I'll just go through it. So we start with our HQ choice, which is an avatar, and he has fast shot, no other upgrades, quite a powerful unit with the extra shooting. Accompanied by a squad of Storm Guardians, which is 13 Storm Guardians, along with a Warlock, which is there, and also we've got a fusion gun and a flamer to support them. Additionally, we then have some some Guardian Defenders, so that's 20 Guardian Defenders there, with a Scatter Laser and a Bright Lance, and we've also got a Warlock who has a Shining Spear. We have another squad of Guardians which is the same, so 20 Guardian Defenders, a Warlock with a Shining Spear, we've got a Scatter Laser and a Bright Lance. So a bit of anti-troops and a bit of anti-tank for defending positions. We have a squad of 6 Dire Avengers with an Exarch, and he's got Twin Link Shrieking Catapults, so useful there as a plug-in unit to plug in defensive holes or support the attack if necessary. We have 6 Rangers, no upgrades, don't think they're really available anyway. Quite useful for harassing the enemy and potentially holding on to advanced objectives. We have a fast attack choice, which is 6 Swooping Hawks, and that's got, along with an Exarch, and he's got the Hawk's Talon weapon there for some extra damage. And then we have the fast attack wing group, which is a Falcon with a Scatter Laser as its side weapon to get the twin link for the pulse laser, and that's carrying 6 Howling Banshees, which have an Exarch with them as well. Currently carrying the Mirror Swords, but that won't be in the army. Can't afford the points. We have another Falcon, exactly the same as the other one, again with the Scatter Laser, and that's carrying 6 Fire Dragons with the Exarch. He's got Fire Pike and Fast Shot, lots of extra damage to take out vehicles. And then we have a Wave Serpent, which has twin-linked Scatter Lasers and a Shrieking Cannon as well, and he's carrying 10 Dire Avengers, and they have an Exarch who has a Dire Sword for some extra defensive capability. So this group will move forward up the wing, possibly coming out of reserve or not decided yet, and will harry the enemy and hopefully displace and take some of their, possibly even take some of their objectives, but certainly try and prevent them from holding on to them. We have the main defensive block, which is primarily these 2 groups of Guardians, which will hold my own objectives, is the idea. Quite a large block of troops to get rid of. They'll be supported by the Avatar and his squad really of Storm Guardians. They'll hang around together so they can get the Fearless bonus and provide all the extra combat killing power, and primarily they'll stay around in defense and hopefully provide Fearless to the main Guardian force as well, but can also screen or help move forward if required. Like I say, these small group of Dire Avengers can plug any holes as required in this defensive block, but it's also small enough to be picked up by a Falcon or Wave Serpent later on if necessary and moved forward for attack. The scouts are going to do their thing. They're going to just hold a position, hopefully some high ground, and just annoy the enemy, try and take out some leaders or such. And the Swooping Hawks are again a kind of filling it in role really. So they're not particularly heavily armoured, not too bad, but not great, not very tough, and while their weapons provide lots of shots, they don't have very good strength, so it's only strength 3, so you've got to get lightly armoured targets. But they are quick and deep strike with no scatter, so they can deep strike into what then is an enemy weak point from anywhere, and cause a bit of damage and then leave before they can turn around and react. that's really the battle plan for the whole army. 2,000 points, like I say. If I come to a smaller points, then we'll reduce them down. My thinking, if it comes to 1850, cut out 10 guidance from each of these squads with a heavy weapon platform, and spend the resultant upgrades such as crushing blow, perhaps an extra scout, which I have one more of, the mirror swords, or some vehicle upgrades on here as well to cause some extra damage or allow them to last longer. But 2,000 points, that's quite a nice army. I think we've got quite a bulk. No flyers or large creatures. Like I say, it's based primarily on old stuff that's at least 10 years old. A few things here are new. The Wave Serpent and the Die Avengers at the back, they were new. A couple of the Storm Guardians I got off eBay. And yeah, that's pretty much it. All the rest is old models that have been cleaned up and repainted. So in that old fashion, maybe it won't be able to cope with the modern army with its flyers and monstrous creatures, and maybe it will do quite well. Well, I guess we will find out in due course. Additionally, like I say, I've also got out the Orc army that we have, which is more substantial and actually requires cutting back, but lots of work to finish painting up and building the required models. So I shall work on that now once I've finished the Eldar, and hopefully we will also get a 2,000 point Orc army together. That means, of course, we can do some battle reports, so hopefully me and George will be able to do an Orcs versus Eldar, which is a classic battle for us. When we did dust off all the models, we had a small battle of 1,000 points, and it came as a draw 1-1, although we didn't know the new rules properly. So we'd like to have a rematch of that with the proper rules and full created armies, and hopefully we'll be able to make a battle report for you for that. So that's about all I've got for now. I shall keep you up to date with the Orc army as it goes, and that's about it. Captain out.